Ahoy! Welcome to a brand new episode of Salvaged Treasures. Tonight's showcase is the Battra Larva Special Color version by Monsterarts, of whom I was not sponsored by, but would welcome the opportunity. As usual, I'll leave the history and opinions till the end of the video. This figure is about 10 inches long and 6 inches high, same as the older release. Supposedly, this edition of Battra Larva has some kind of new dynamic paint scheme, but it, looks the same to me. At least they didn't ruin the paint like the special color version of Mothra, which is absolutely abhorrent. It legitimately looks like they just took the unsold Mothras and just repainted right over them. I wouldn't buy that for a sand dollar. One of the major differences between this one and the previous Bandai vinyl is that the horn is translucent. He's got more than 2 points of articulation, unlike the original. Also, if you look closely, you'll see that there is a translucent layer on his eye, allowing us to see his compound texture within. Battra Larva comes with just 2 accessories, his beam effect and Battra. The beam effect, much like the horn, shares a translucent effect, though it's not nearly as effective and looks nothing like the promo pics. Not that that's really a surprise to anyone. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even put the beam effect on the vinyl figure. That's right, it fits. Kind of. As for Battra's final form, it's okay, I guess. Mine came with half of the legs loose in the box, so that was kind of a pain in the ass. But so far there don't seem to be any paint issues, and the stand holds him just fine. Not really sure why they included this, though. Not really integral to the story, and just artificially inflates the price, in my opinion. But I digress. As you can see, the Monsterarts Battra Larva figure is quite an improvement over the older vinyl figure. Let's sail on to the history of this figure. Battra Larva is the larval form of Battra, Mothra's twin brother. He was made about 12,000 years ago to combat pollution. Unfortunately, he came to the same conclusion as most robots, in that humanity is to blame for just about everything. So he tried to solve the problem by destroying an entire civilization. As you may imagine, this was not exactly what the ancients had in mind, so Mothra had to come in and defeat Battra. When you think about it, he's basically just Gamera. And kind of like Megalon, too. Well, I guess you... No, yeah, they're basically the same. This movie was made in the 90s, back when it was all the rage to add edgy counterparts to protagonists. You know, sick nasty, bro. So even Masuda got one. As for what happens in the movie, I don't actually remember. But I know the formula well enough, so I could probably wing it fairly well. I'm going to guess around the beginning of the movie, both Battra and Mothra hatch from the eggs and end up going their separate ways. Battra probably rips Tokyo a new one, pissing off Godzilla and Mothra, so they have to team up and defeat Battra. So I'm recording this post because the stat synopsis is almost exactly the opposite of what actually happens in the movie. I know, classic Salvagiers. In reality, Battra shows up and is pissed off at Mothra, but it turns out he wasn't the first. Godzilla's already enemy number 1 around Tokyo and is beating the shit out of Mothra, so Battra feels bad and decides to turn babyface and help his sister out. Godzilla still kills Battra, spilling Nickelodeon slime everywhere, and forces Mothra to sacrifice herself Iron Giant style at the end of the film. Now you may be wondering, Cyclone, why would you spend an exorbitant amount of money on a character from a movie you don't even remember? Well, it's because he's a caterpillar, the mightiest of seafaring beasts. If it wasn't self-evident by now, the entire channel's existence is geared towards the appreciation and syndication of caterpillars. And porpoises. Well, mostly whales. And maybe this thing. Oh, and I think there's something about water, but I don't remember. Either way, when it comes to the Salvagiers, and in life in general, you can never have enough caterpillars. Yes! 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 What a mighty fine Christmas this has been! Look at this. Look at what I'm working with here. Can you see this shit? Let me pull out my phone. Oh no, I hit the... What? Look at what I have to work with. Look at the struggles I've gone through just so I can give you quality entertainment. Do you understand how hard it is? I am working on top of a laser printer from God knows when.
Who's gonna spy to see if rain day?
God, I don't know.
Really know.
Look how much space I have. I'm tripping over.